Hey, this is Adam Locklear with One Realty Management again, and this is the Essential Jacksonville Property Rental Checklist. I like to do this every single year just to keep up with everything and just ensure that everybody understands what are those rental checklists that you need to be making sure happen in regard to maintenance on your rental property every year. So one of the things we've learned over the years is that being proactive when it comes to maintenance is very important. It keeps the rental property in great shape, and you're actually going to make more money as a landlord as you go along when you keep the property in good shape. The reason for this is because happy tenants pay their rent, and when they know that you're maintaining the property as well, they're going to help maintain it along the way. So number one is monthly maintenance essentials, the foundation of preventative care. These are going to be those basic components in the house, those main 4 points you may have heard. The HVAC filters need to be changed out. The plumbing has to be inspected regularly. Now, if you have a tenant in the property, they're going to be turning that sink on and off all the time. They're going to tell you if there's a leak somewhere in the house. Smoke detectors are super important. You need to ensure that those have the batteries in them, or if they're hardwired, they do need to be tested from time to time to ensure that they work. I recommend tenants just get up there and press that button once a month. Now, as a landlord, you may not go into the property once a month, but you need to be coming in a couple times a year, at a minimum once a year, to check those smoke detectors and make sure they work. Other things like exterior lighting, pest control. If the tenant, calls in or sends a message and says that there's a funky smell, there could be mold, those types of things would not be like us going in every month, but then we would go out and check in on those components. So that would be like roof leaks. That would be if there was some type of issue with the electrical or things of that nature. Okay, so good tenants are going to tell you when that maintenance is needed. Number two is the seasonal maintenance. This is going to depend on what time of year it is. Here in North Florida, spring's running like March to May before it gets too hot. We want to make sure that we're doing any lawn care or lawn control stuff that we need to do ahead of time, maybe adjusting sprinkler systems. We like to go in and inspect the roof. In the fall, we have like the hurricanes and stuff, and then we actually do have a winter here in North Florida with winds. We just don't get snow. So it's a good time to go in and reseal windows, check in on those roofing components. Now, in the summer, that's running June to August here in Jacksonville, and this is where we want to schedule full HVAC servicing if it's needed. So if the air filter doesn't get replaced regularly, then the coils inside of the unit, they're going to get gunked up and get real dirty. And in this scenario, we're going to go in and clean those coils. There could be some other parts on the HVAC that need to be replaced. Many times the tenants are going to put in a maintenance order and let you know when that stuff is going on. So in fall, September, trimming those tree branches is a great idea because we are in a hurricane area. If you do have a fireplace or a chimney and it's loose, it would be a good time to just make sure that, there aren't any loose stones anywhere or anything like that. You don't really have to winterize here in Florida because once again, we don't get that snow and we don't have that problem. But it is also true that we do get a couple hard freezes a year. So being in good communication with the tenants, letting them know to just go out there and kind of turn the water spigot on outside of the house is always a good idea. In wintertime, you're going to want to inspect for the insulation. You're going to want to look at any exposed pipes, make sure those are insulated. All of those things are going to affect the performance of the hot water during those winter months. So number three, the annual deep dive maintenance task. This is going to include roof inspection, full HVAC tune-up and duct cleaning if applicable, water heater, flushing that out, testing the valves, recaulking the kitchen and bath, and then of course any safety audits. This is where you want to go through. Sometimes you'll get that tenant that doesn't actually tell you anything. They never call, they pay their rent, and they feel like a really good tenant. But you still need to inspect the property to make sure there are no safety problems with the unit. So number four is the emergency preparedness, planning before the panic. Emergency prep checklist includes installing and testing backup sump pumps if applicable. Once again, maybe the property is on city sewer, maybe it is on a septic system. There also could be other sump pumps that exist there. Like some properties you have are going to have water that sits a little bit in Florida. So once again, emergency preparedness, securing loose items during hurricane season. That's really going to be from like August all the way to November. Sometimes you can get storms a little early. Sometimes you can get storms a little late in the year. One of the things that's really important is in your lease clauses, like we like to do like a summary sheet that we give the tenants that tells them what to do in an emergency. You also can laminate those and print those out, or you can even do magnets. I found a really good idea. You stick them on the fridge, tenant freaks out, they look on the fridge and it tells them what to do. Sometimes you just have to tell your tenants to call 911. It may be out of your hands. It may just be a 911 call. So number 5 is that move in and move out maintenance essentials, that move in checklist. You want to kind of go through and check all the boxes. This is a good time to talk about wear and tear. Like if a tenant comes in and like puts little smudges on the walls or just their feet traffic, you can't really charge for that stuff, but you want to go in this move in checklist and really check things out, because when they move out, you want to go in and assess the damage to see if you're going to make a claim against that security deposit. So kind of read about that a little bit more. The FDICS security deposit rules are on the blog post that I have. I'll put the link down below. You can go through and look at the 15-day or 30-day claims on withholding that deposit and do some research on that. Hey, if you don't want to deal with that, we are a licensed real estate broker and property manager with 23 years experience right here in North Florida. One Realty Management has been doing this for a while. We'll help you with all those security deposit rules. We'll deal with the tenant for you, and we'll do everything else that you need for property management. So last but not least, outsourcing maintenance when doing it yourself becomes dangerous. No one outsource major plumbing, electrical work, basically anything that could shock you or kill you, or requires a permit to do. You really should hire professionals for that stuff. Please don't let me catch you out putting on roof shingles or running electrical wire or trying to hook up to the power grid here in Jacksonville, Florida. Couple quick frequently asked questions. Do I need to do property inspections in Jacksonville? Yes, ideally twice a year. While it's not mandated, they do help you stay compliant and proactive. Now, in our property management agreement with our owners, we definitely have a frequency of how often we recommend inspecting, and we do recommend that a couple times a year. Now, we actually do our inspections a la carte, so you can get an inspection on a property anytime that you want. Can I deduct maintenance expenses from my taxes? Absolutely. Everything that you spend on the property is a write-off. You also can depreciate the property and do a lot of other really cool stuff when it comes to writing off expenses for your property. I do recommend that you consult a CPA. If you need a good one, just reach out. I'd be happy to share. Number 3, what's the most overlooked maintenance issue? Gutter cleaning a lot. People put gutters up. They never get up there and check them. All the debris gets up there. It also attracts bugs to the property. Also mold, pest control, and roofing problems a lot of times do get overlooked. Can I charge tenants for repairs? I talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. If they actually cause damage, then you can charge for it. That's kind of the rule on that. If it's normal wear and tear, then no, you cannot charge for it. How much should I budget annually? 1 to 3% is a good budget if you have a good property. By good, I mean it's fully repaired. It doesn't have any deferred maintenance. If your property admittedly needs some maintenance, then you are going to need to budget more. It could be up to 5 to 10%. So use a little common sense here. Maybe you need a new roof on the property, so that would kind of change things. So in conclusions, excellence and maintenance equals excellent investment properties. Every leaky faucet you ignore, every roof that you delay, it's going to cost you money and credibility. Tenants are going to get upset. They're going to leave. On the flip side of that, if you do a really good job and you effectively blend the maintenance on the property in the right way, what I mean by that is you're not spending too much on it, but you're also fixing things when they need to get fixed. You're going to develop a solid reputation as the go-to landlord right here in North Florida. Hey, Adam Locklear, One Realty Management. I'd love to help you. If you need help, just reach out to us. We're pretty easy to find, or you can visit our website. We have links all over the place. Send us a message. We'd be happy to chat with you.